Canada is not doing well, guys. We are now a safe haven for terrorism.
Canada is a safe country, but is not as safe as it used to be.
An RCMP has harassed me.
That old lady got freaking beat.
Canada used to be one of the most safe places to live. And
the mainstream media won't make a peep about this, but violent crime rates in Canada are exploding.
To all Canadians, you are responsible for the safety of your family and children in your home.
Canada has become a drug hub and way station for organized crime.
Crime in Canada has actually increased as
violent crime in Canada has skyrocketed 30%.
When it comes to public safety, do you feel like Vancouver has declined compared to pre-pandemic?
Yes, definitely. I think it's gone downhill.
Like when I see people entering into homes, like I don't want to buy a home. I don't want to spend so much money and education in this country and then just...
Welcome to Canadian Rant, the place where we speak the truth about what's really happening across this country. If you believe in honesty over headlines and reality over politics, then hit that subscribe button, because this is where silence ends and truth begins. Canada used to feel safe. It used to feel like home, calm, fair, and stable. But not anymore. Today, people are afraid. Afraid to walk alone at night. Afraid to speak out. Afraid to check their bank accounts, pay their rent, or even trust the system that's supposed to protect them. You hear it everywhere. Stories of rising crime, homelessness spreading through every city, mental health collapsing, families losing everything, and no real help in sight. People are desperate, and when people lose hope, the world around them starts to fall apart. It's not just about crime. It's about fear. Fear of losing your job, your home, your safety, your sense of belonging. Fear that no matter how hard you work, it'll never be enough. Something has shifted in this country. Something deep. The trust is gone. The security is gone. And for the first time in generations, Canadians are saying it out loud. No one is safe anymore. Today we're going to talk about what that really means, and why the system designed to protect us might actually be the one putting us at risk.
When it comes to public safety, do you feel like Vancouver has declined compared to pre-pandemic?
Yes, definitely. I think it's gone downhill.
It feels definitely not as safe walking around downtown. Certain areas, you tend to avoid them.
Like Main Granville Street used to be a lot better, but now I'd rather walk on any of the other parallel streets.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that earlier. I was walking down Granville and it definitely felt unsafe and uncomfortable, that you kind of just want to pick up your pace a little bit and get through as quick as you can if you need to go through.
Somebody's already on it. Call 911.
Yeah.
Canada is a safe country, but is not as safe as it used to be. If we keep ignoring the rise of violence, it's only a matter of time before it gets too late. This guy here killed a 21-year-old girl in Mississauga. They got $50,000 on his head. 5 people got injured in the mass shooting in Toronto, and 1 person died. 12 people got injured at a pub bar in Scarborough. Look at this. This is caught on camera. Here was something I was thinking about. Please bear with me. If you have a criminal record in the US, you're not even allowed into Canada. So please tell me, why are we going soft on our criminals? Why aren't we holding them fully accountable to their actions? Why are we not throwing the full book at them? And you know what's crazy? When you go on the crime news website, you have a list of every crime that has happened in the last 3, 4, 5 hours. The catch and release under the C-75 bills, it has to stop. Like seriously.
Violent crime in Canada has skyrocketed 30% in the last 10 years. In 2023, there were 1,427 violent crimes per 100,000 people, including a staggering 29% of homicides committed by offenders on release. While assault incidents rose by 50% and extortions rose by an astonishing 429%. Human trafficking is up 395%, alongside a 288% increase in child pornography offenses. And 78% of Canadians believe that the justice system is way too lenient.
Crime in Canada has actually increased. There's an interesting article I saw where in the USA it's somewhat gone down, but in Canada it's actually increased. And what's interesting here is that people are starting to notice this. One of my neighbors, for example, put a very annoying surveillance system, and pretty much it's like a motion detector. So when you walk by, it says, "You are under surveillance. You are under surveillance." However, that homeowner has reason to be concerned. There was a guy in Richmond Hill that was killed right in front of his house by someone for no reason whatsoever. And the assailant, of course, was on probation or whatever. And that seems to be a running theme here. A lot of the crime that's being committed is committed by the same people. It's a very small group of people that are committing crimes again and again and again. It's because of the bail system. Essentially, you commit a crime, you get out, you do it again, back on bail kind of thing. And I think it's the Liberals who are kind of stopping any kind of bail reform.
If you tolerate it, it will grow. Canada is not doing well, guys. We are now a safe haven for terrorism. In the last 24 hours, here are a few of the articles. Early this morning, NAV Canada was made aware of bomb threats affecting facilities in Ottawa, Montreal, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. Employees are impacted locations are safe and at a temporary ground stop, and a temporary ground stop has been implemented at the affected points. Here's another. LAX, or LA immigration vetting, makes Canada prime target for Iranian infiltration, says Secure Canada. That one's good. Sammy Doohan exposes failures in Canada's anti-terror efforts. This is a group that is an identified terrorist group. It says, why does a group officially listed as a terrorist entity still enjoy the privileges of a federally registered non-profit? It was just revealed that Immigration Canada allowed 17,000 immigrants with a criminal history to stay. They didn't deport them, they allowed them to stay. And they're not even divulging what those crimes are. And we have a public safety minister, yes, a Liberal public safety minister, who recused himself from involvement in matters related to 2 Sri Lankan-linked terrorist organizations. Guys, this is a problem. It's at our doorstep. If you want Canada to continue to be the safe Canada that you once knew, you have to speak up. You have to share this video. You have to message your MP and ask, what are our foreign policies? What are our immigration policies, and what are you doing to ensure that terrorists aren't living here?
That old lady got freaking beat, thrown on the ground, stepped on for her freaking car keys. And I'm just so in shock. Like, all I keep thinking is that wouldn't have happened in the States. Grandma could have had a gun on her. Maybe that guy wouldn't have pulled that shit. Like, be safe in the parking lots, guys. People are crazy trying to steal cars here in Montreal.
To all Canadians, you are responsible for the safety of your family and children in your home. You cannot rely on the police. It takes them on average 7 minutes to come to your house if, when you call 911, they actually connect you to somebody and dispatch an officer. It is your responsibility to make sure your house is secure, make sure you fortified your home, and make sure you talk to your spouse and your children about a game plan. You should have a plan in the event of a worst case scenario. Somebody breaks into your home. What are you going to do? What room are you going to go in? Do you have a place of shelter? Do you have anything to protect yourselves in the event of a worst case scenario? It's your responsibility. I partner with Canada First. They will actually come in and do a complimentary home inspection for you, give you more information about how you can secure your home. You can't rely on the police. You can't rely on the government. A lot of people have this false expectation that the police will come and save them. Let me tell you something. Police officers have told me this to tell you this. You can't expect the police to come and save you in these home invasions. By the time they get there, if they get there, it's too late. You are responsible for your safety. You are responsible for protecting your family. So please make sure you do it. It's a non-negotiable. You have to know what you have to do in the event of this worst case scenario, and you have to protect your home.
Canada has become a drug hub and way station for organized crime and cartels, trafficking their drugs not only to Canada but worldwide. RCMP just named 7 active cartel syndicates after dismantling 11 meth labs in Canada, one in particular in Falkland, BC, where they found AR-15s and submachine guns all ready for use. They seized a total of 89 firearms, body armor explosives, and massive haul of drugs, including 700 kilograms of meth. They found that these organizations are moving their drugs through planes, trucks, and our mail. They've even been shipping drugs using addresses and names of Canadian citizens and stuffing toys full of meth to ship them. So what is the Liberal government doing about this? Well, in short, nothing. In fact, the Liberal government promised to hire 1,000 border agents, first in April, then again in June. However, when the Liberal Safety Minister, Gary, was pressed about how many border security agents have been hired, he responded that it's not his responsibility.
RCMP didn't know how many of the 1,000 officers that they promised were hired, just a number. How many?
So I will invite the RCMP
Commissioner
I want to hear
it from you, Minister. From you, Minister.
But I'm not responsible for hiring of the officers.
You're not. I beg your pardon? You are the Minister.
But we can't be surprised. The Liberal government has no intention of making Canada better or safer. They just want control. The mainstream media hasn't even reported that the government has failed to hire these border agents despite these huge drug busts. Rebel News, Juno News, and Western Standard are the only news sources I found that have reported on this, and they're all alternatives. Well, that's because the mainstream media is nothing but another arm of the government. Don't fool yourselves into believing that the government has the safety in mind. To crack down on gun crimes, they disarmed law-abiding citizens instead of reinforcing our border where 90% or more of weapons used in crime actually come from. To stop drug addicts dying from drugs, they assist them in taking those drugs. They give murderers shorter sentences because of ethnic backgrounds while locking up Canadians for social media posts. The Liberal government needs to fall before Canada does.
Canada used to be one of the most safe places to live, and now it's becoming terrifying. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and there has been so many insane things going on. I just saw an article of a girl, she was in Cole Harbour, walking, got attacked. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times by this man. He was out to kill her. She somehow managed to escape, fought her way off, found police, he got arrested, and now I'm reading that he now has been let go. And he's been let go because he is deemed mentally unwell. So he was having an episode of some kind. I don't know. Why is someone that is not mentally well able to go back into public when he almost killed her? That should be attempted murder. Or lock him up and get him mental health that he needs if that is the issue. And we are not taking it seriously. There was a huge hospital called Riverview that people would go to if they had mental health issues. I don't know why, but they shut it down. And obviously, if they shut down a hospital and there's a bunch of patients in it, where are they all gonna go? To the street! To the streets! That's why we have the downtown east side, Hastings Street, where all the drug addicts and people are, because they are just trying to get by in life. They're just trying to help their issues by numbing it. I don't judge anyone for 1 second being homeless. They probably have had a tough life. But what needs to happen is we need to have better access to mental health, and we need to help people with mental health and not just deem it, oh, it's just mental health, and let them go, because this is causing major issues in our city. Only days after this girl was announced attacked by this guy, and then the guy got let go, another incident happened. There was a Filipino festival happening here, and a guy drove a car through the festival, and now announced 11 people are dead. This sounds like something that you would hear about that happens in the States. It is not safe. I used to feel so safe walking here as a girl. I don't anymore. Now I take extra precaution because you really never know. It just takes one time, one bad area, wrong interaction, you're done. And you know what's even worse about our system that we have here is if you're a girl and you have some kind of mace, whether it's bear mace, you can actually get bear mace at Canadian Tire. And it's pink, it's cute, it's in a little bottle. My friend has it. You can have it. But if you were to use it on someone to protect yourself, you are going to be charged. Not the person attacking you, but you, as trying to protect yourself as a woman, are going to be charged for it. Which is actually insanity, because what are we supposed to do? If a guy is coming at you and you're a girl, how are you supposed to protect yourself? At this rate, I don't even care if I were to be charged. I'm picking up some pink bear mace. and I'm holding that near and dear to my pocket, because if I had to choose between being fined or having trauma or potentially my life at risk, I would rather be charged. Charge me. Charge me.
The Canadian RCMP has harassed me, assaulted me with the help of military police, and more. But instead of protecting me, I was told recently by a man in the RCMP, he told me that my case is on their urgent docket, and they're working to cover it up. For months, I've been subjected to false charges, torture, and coordinated psychological operations, exactly like those outlined in the Canadian Armed Forces Psychological Operations Manual, tactics carried out with the help of intelligence agencies. This all escalated about 3 or 4 months ago, right after I exposed Mercedes Stephenson. She isn't just a journalist, she's an ex-Pentagon intern, and not long after, I was contacted by a number I've since recovered. The message was clear: if I don't shut up, they will frame me as crazy and unstable. This isn't just a Canadian scandal. It's a cross-border intelligence operation using media assets, law enforcement, and military tactics to silence me. I'm asking for anyone's support because this isn't just about me. It's about exposing how far institutions will go to destroy dissent.
Did you ever experience these things before?
No, never. Like, I actually moved from Nova Scotia.
Okay.
It's opposite of Ontario.
Okay.
You can leave your car door open. No one would steal it.
Okay.
But here, I have to make sure, like, I have to get all the tech in the car so no one steals it. But I've never experienced it, but I've seen, like, people being scared. Like, when I see people entering into homes, like, I don't want to buy a home.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like, spend, like, so much money and education in this country and then just being robbed. And
so what you're thinking now?
I'm probably going to move to a different country, like, where, like at the end of it, Canada is probably going to lose some people like who are skilled,
educated people.
Yeah, correct. So me and my partner will probably go to US.
Okay.
Right?
So many trucking people, they moved to Dubai. Some people, they moved to Florida. Many went back home, India. So it's a scary thing, and it's disheartening.
Yeah, it's like I don't feel safe now. That's the thing. Like, since then, when I'm walking, I'm always like looking who's behind me behind, and I'm not getting my phone out in public, because like if someone steals my phone, like what I'm gonna do, right? I'll run after him, but then if they have a weapon, like I'm not gonna risk my life because of like a
The mainstream media won't make a peep about this, but violent crime rates in Canada are exploding. Since Trudeau was elected in 2015, go look at a chart under the Harper government, violent crime rates, crimes against women, were continually going down and down and down. Then all of a sudden does a total 180 when Trudeau gets elected, and it's been on an upward trajectory ever since, getting worse and worse and worse. And there's an obvious correlation. The CBC, CCV, they won't tell you it whatsoever, but it's because of liberal, soft on crime policies. They go after law-abiding citizens with these ridiculous speech laws, and they let criminals go free. It's the definition of craziness. In Canada now, where I live in Ottawa, a 71-year-old grandmother last week was stabbed at a grocery store. We've seen a run of home invasions. A couple of days ago in Vaughan, a guy wound up dead via a home invasion. These stories used to be unheard of in Canada, known as a peaceful country. Now, all of a sudden, it's a normal, everyday occurrence. If you look at the crime rates per 100,000, it is up 275% in the past 5 years alone. And what has changed? It's the Liberal government, their policies across the board. Whether it be allowing 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 million people into the country in the past 3 years alone, whether it be getting rid of castle laws, whether it be getting rid of 3 strike laws, time and time again, the Liberal government have made it abundantly clear that they are working on behalf of criminals, not law-abiding Canadians. And it's time that we say enough is enough. Violent crime rates up 40% in the past decade. Crimes against women up 60%. Petty crime up 80%. This is how societies deteriorate. And you look time and time and time again where you see crime rates continue to inch upwards and upwards and upwards. It points to civil conflict. They know exactly what they're doing. I know Mark Carney and the Liberal elitists live in neighborhoods where they never have to see this type of activity. But where I live in Ottawa, and shockingly enough, I'm only a couple of blocks away from the Parliament building, but you would not believe the amount of open crack smoking there is in my neighborhood. On a day-to-day basis when I walk into work, my God, the number of people that you see out on the streets just openly smoking crack is truly shocking. Now, I feel bad for these people, but laws like Safe Supply are not helping them. Giving these people drugs, which is exactly what the Canadian government is doing, are not helping them. And then they pass laws where they don't arrest these people because it's not the empathetic thing to do. Well, what about the rest of your civilization? What about the rest of your society? What if you have children and you're walking around, there's open crack smoking, these people, obviously, it goes without saying, very erratic. You don't know what you're going to get. You look at law after law after law after law that has been passed by the Liberal government and the people that they've allowed into this country in the past decade. An absolute unprecedented explosion in our population. An explosion. It's not an exaggeration to say it's unprecedented to go from a population of 32 million in 2015 to over 41 million in 2025, with the Century Initiative target is 100 million by the year 2100. Some say that they're going to continue, that we're estimated to allow another 1.5 million in this year. This is right, the fact that 75% of Canadians say enough is enough. We can't withstand it anymore. It's truly shocking. The so-called will of the people, our democracy, is in total shambles. It's a joke. It's a total joke. When 75% of the population says they don't want something anymore, yet the government continues to push it through, you are no longer in a democracy. You are living in with a tyrannical, authoritarian government that is going to tell you what you like, whether you like it or not. And you walk around a city like Ottawa, it becomes more and more obvious. The amount of pride flags you see all over the place, I think it should just be Canadian flags. These are political messages. There should be no political flags out throughout our country. It just shows how ideologically captured we are. There should be no other flags around put up by our government besides Canadian flags and maybe whatever province you're in, stick those up. But otherwise, it's too divisive. But that's exactly what they want to do. The entire aim is to divide people. They want to divvy people up. They want to say, oh, if you don't love the fact that there's a pride flag on every corner, you're a xenophobe, you're a hater. It's so ridiculous, but it's so obvious what they're trying to do. But everyday Canadians have had enough and are standing up. I'm hosting a Take Canada Back rally Saturday, September 13th, noon at Parliament Hill. Going to get tens of thousands of patriotic Canadians out on the streets because we are sick of seeing the destruction of our Western civilization by these woke, absolute morons who, I think they're malevolent. They know exactly what they're doing, but they're happy to see what they would call old stock Canadians being torn down. Let's get out there. Let's get loud. If you're interested in joining, hit that join button, become a member, help me mold this movement. Canadian patriots are going to take this country back. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you're following on YouTube, youtube.com/Appetite for Canada 2025, because the Canadian government is not a big fan of dissidents. Appreciate it. See you on Saturday, September 13th, noon, Parliament Hill.
Hey guys. So today's the day that Tamara and Chris get sentenced. And I think that we need to think for a second here and think about the charges that they're looking at. Mischief. They're looking at 7 to 8 years. Mischief. And I'm saying that again. Mischief. But they're allowing murderers to run around in our streets. Violent offenders, while victims sleep scared every night. Tell me how that even makes any sense. Let's not talk about how, I think all levels of government are become corrupt. Our mayor in Toronto, she needs to go. She has absolutely no priority in keeping the Toronto or the city safe or to do anything for us. Doug Ford. Doug Ford. A liberal in conservative clothing. It's just funny because, see, Doug Ford is a progressive conservative, and they're more aligned with the liberals. See, the Conservative Party of Canada is not progressive. It's a difference. And like his idiocy to boycott and talk about Crown Royal and say he's going to take it off the shelves. Guys, that's made here. Why would you want to do that to a company that makes their product here? So they're bottling factories are going somewhere else. It's not, most of our investors or most people that are invested in Canada are going to leave anyway. They've already started leaving so long. So think about it. What is he doing? He's literally a traitor. And then also think of this. All that I just said, if those hate laws come into effect, they'll arrest someone like me for speaking my mind, for calling them out. Because see, only reason, a government wants to do that and to censor what you say is because they don't like your narrative, because it doesn't fit theirs. So why not fill the jails up with people and their opinions instead of filling them up with the violent criminals that are on the streets? Can somebody tell me, why would you want to still have this government in power? I don't understand. It isn't even about party colors anymore. It's not about conservative and liberal, red and blue. It's about our country. Oh my God, I don't know how many more times that I've had to put this out there to people who keep saying stupid stuff. Common sense. The way that this government is doing this, we are literally going to be nothing. And the liberals out there who get all those handouts and who think the liberals are so good and have, well, I have, retirement money and I've saved, and your money will be gone because it'll all be gone. What are you going to do then when the handouts stop and all your wealth is gone because of the taxation that they keep putting on everybody? Like, what does it take for somebody's country to wake up? Wake up! This is so serious, and I don't care if you don't think so. You need to go and read what the budget officer said. Go and read all the things that this government is giving money away. Our spending is out of control. We're on the precipice. It just makes, my brain has a hard time understanding why. That's it. At this point, I'm not sure where Canada's going to be, or if it's not even going to exist within the next couple of years, because we're going to have an economic and financial crisis. It's going to be pretty bad. And if anybody wants to sit there and blame the tariffs or Trump, please stop. This was already happening way before. Let's be real. Wake up. Donald Trump is not the problem. The problem is, it's right here in your own country by your own government. Wake up. Gosh, wake up.
Story time. I had a literally terrifying experience just now in Montreal. I have had the best trip ever. I love Canada. Love Canada. But just little reminder for people out there to be aware of your surroundings on the street, because I'm very glad that I was, and just be smart about what you're doing. So I was walking down the street in nearish the downtown area, pretty populated. Other people were walking around, and I don't speak French, and someone starts speaking to me in French, and then I just always say, per usual, because a few people have stopped and asked me for directions, which I really appreciate, because I'm like, wow, do I look like a local? That's very kind. And I just say, oh, sorry, I don't speak French, and I keep walking. And then he starts following me and follows me for 2 blocks and is asking me a bunch of questions, oh, what's your name? You're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And then I say, oh, I have a boyfriend, sorry, I can't give you my number, I can't give you my Snapchat, I have a boyfriend. He wouldn't like that. That's just not respectful. And I'm trying to be polite and courteous and stuff, and I speed walk a bit to think he's gonna give up, and he doesn't. He can sure match my pace, and is asking my name, other information about me, and just don't give out your actual information. And one thing too that came up is he said, he said, what are you here for? And I just said, oh, I'm just here visiting. He says, oh, you're here alone? And I said, no, I'm here with a lot of friends from work. So and the excitement I could tell when he thought that I was here by myself was very telling. So thankfully, God bless Tim Hortons for more reasons than one. There was a 24-hour Tim Hortons, and I in the conversation, and I wasn't trying to keep it going. I was actively trying to walk away, and I was standing at a stoplight for a bit, and everything, and it just was like very overwhelming. But because it got to the point too where then his friend is like backing him up and saying like, well, just give him your number, just give him your Snapchat, blah blah blah. And I'm not gonna, to somebody who I don't know, I'm not gonna hand my phone over to anyone who I don't know. That's also not safe, and I'm not gonna be left with a way to not communicate, because maybe he was perfectly nice at that point. He definitely wasn't, since he'd been following me that long, and wasn't taking no for an answer. Someone could also run away with your phone. Like, imagine I'd given him my phone and then I don't have any way to like call for help if like something came up. So just be aware, be careful. Don't give anyone your actual name. Don't give them your information. Like, just be so careful, and be aware of your surroundings. Like, before you go out somewhere, like, look up places where if you need to run in somewhere, you can run in somewhere. And I mean, Canada's incredible. It's incredibly safe. This was my first time visiting here in Montreal, and I've had the most incredible time. Everyone's been so kind and polite, but like, you can just never be too careful and too aware. Thankfully, I knew there was that 24-hour Tim Hortons right there on the corner, so I was able to run in, hang out in there for a little bit, and then got on FaceTime with my friend to like make it back to my hotel, and all as well. So anyways, just a little reminder, you can never be too safe. You can never be too careful, even in a gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful city that is overall incredibly safe. Okay. Bye, Pookies. Be safe. Love you. Also, moral of the story with that I was meaning to say is that if someone has just been like following you that intently like that, don't immediately walk back to the place that you're staying. There have been women that have done that and things have not worked out well for them, and I've heard about that in the news from friends personally. And also, you don't want to have that weighing on your conscience of, if someone was just following me, but I'm not sure if they're following me anymore, but now they probably know where I'm staying or where I live. Go somewhere else. Know of like 24-hour places that are open near where you're walking around whenever you're doing it. So that's also just my little tip. And I'm very glad I did that, because now I'm safe back here and I don't have to worry about that anyone knows where I am.
The truth is, safety isn't just about crime. It's about trust. And that trust between the people and the system has been shattered. When families can't afford rent, when groceries cost more than paychecks, when addiction and homelessness are treated like background noise, that's not safety. That's survival. And Canadians are tired of surviving. We used to believe that this country looked out for us, that no matter what, we were protected. But now, we see how quickly everything can fall apart. One rent hike, one emergency, one lost job, and the safety net disappears. That's what no one wants to admit. The danger isn't just in the streets. It's in the policies, the greed, the neglect, and the silence of leaders who stopped listening. And yet, despite all of this, Canadians haven't given up. We still care. We still help each other. We still hold on to hope that this country can be what it once was, a place of fairness, kindness, and stability. But that won't happen by staying quiet. We can't fix what we're afraid to face. It's time to talk about what's broken and demand that those in power start protecting people, not profits. Because if no one is safe anymore, then no one can stay silent anymore either. So if you've ever felt like this country forgot about you, if you've ever looked around and thought, this can't be the Canada we were promised, you're not alone. You're part of a growing community that's ready to speak truth, loudly, clearly, and unapologetically. This is Canadian Rant, where silence ends and truth begins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your voice matters, and together, we're taking it back.